Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today, I hope you're ready for a bit of a kind of off-the-cuff video because I have been putting together some stuff for holiday. I'm going to put this fabulous headband on. This has a little thing at the back which makes me think that's supposed to be at the back. I'm going to do it. I hope that you are ready for things to get random because I have been putting things together for holiday, putting things in like, I love a pouch. There's just, already I've packed stuff in little pouches, makeup, skincare, things that we might need for like first aidy type things, which covers all manner of sins for me. A little jewellery box pouch. Then I've got extra skincare that I don't need on the plane, things that I need on the plane, brushes. I just love a pouch. That video will come. It's a lot of stuff. But in the making of those little pouches, I have discovered some bits and pieces that I felt like would all fall within one category, and that category is unsexy favourites. And since we're talking unsexy favourites, I wasn't going to put makeup on for this video. I was going to leave my hair in this strange clipped out of my face situation. I thought I'll put on some eye masks. Right, tell me, do you do it this way or do you do it? Because I think this is just preference. I mean, it's literally, there's no right way. I think maybe it depends on the shape of your face as well. Which way do you think is the right way? I used to do it this way, and then people told me I was wrong. So then I do it this way. But I honestly feel like it depends on your face shape. I think this is the right way for me. I just do. I've definitely come to the conclusion, I was thinking about this the other day, me now versus like me even 5 years ago, like what's the biggest difference? I just do what I want. Just do what I want, and I would highly recommend you all do the same. Let's kick off with some plasters, kind of like a face mask of sorts. So I was using spot patches occasionally, which honestly I don't even need them that much anymore, and it's partially just like a very routine skincare situation. It's like the same all the time. I kind of switch out like cleansers and moisturizers, but I do my Skin and Me, some kind of vitamin C or a niacinamide in the morning. I'm not playing around with a lot of stuff. I use pretty much the same face masks all the time. And I would say the biggest thing for keeping my skin clear is that facial brush that I use from Foreo, to the point of I'm taking it with me on holiday. And I never thought that that definitely felt like a nice to have, not a need to have in the past. I honestly think that is now a need to have in my skincare routine. Anyway, that's by the by. When I do get spots, they're always on my chin, and it's hard to know whether or not that is that a breakout because it is hormonal or what, but I do know that I really only get them when I'm not using my Foreo. So, I don't know, hard to say. Also, there's the element of, could it be hair regrowth? Weirdly, when I'm shaving my face, which we'll get to that, when I'm shaving my face, and I'll shave my face every single day if I'm doing that, and I usually do shave my face while I'm going through like a round of IPL, which I do at home. If I'm shaving my face, I don't get a regrowth breakout, but if I wait a few days, pluck it all out, I do get a breakout. I don't know, anyone else? Anyway, that's by the by. What we're here to talk about is these. These plasters are effectively large versions for a lot less money of spot plasters, like spot patches. They're just hydrocolloid, is that right? Faster healing hydrocolloid plasters. So I kind of felt like this was going to be true because I knew that that's what those plasters did. I knew that's what spot patches were, that they're just like a wound dressing that's been repackaged as this is for this, you know? So I don't know, I was getting annoyed that they were expensive, and I picked these up from Tesco. They do exactly the same thing. I haven't got anything to use this on, but I'll just whack it on my face anyway, just to show you. Just put it on my chin, just because that's usually where it is. And I'll put it on. Obviously, it's just this portion that's like the spot patch, but they're loads cheaper. You can't like wear them in the day, like you can maybe a spot patch. But if you're using them at night, loads cheaper. And it still does that thing where it kind of seals around and inflates slightly. You know, the really good spot patches. And it 100% works the same way for me. Now, if you get the ones that are like infused with something, like my very favourite ones that I've ever tried are the Pixie ones, which again, expensive. They've got salicylic acid in them. They work really well for me. However, I can just use a product with salicylic acid in it. And then when it comes to bedtime, I make sure that my skin is clean, put one of these on, does the same job, fraction of the price. Maybe I'm like the last to know about this, but maybe I'm not. Something I'm using at the moment, and I really think that it's working, but the jury's out. I don't want to tell you 100%. I do just want to say, if this is a problem that you have, I feel like the cost of this is worth a shot. Piercing bump solution. So I am prone to keloid scarring. You should see my C-section. The last child I had was 12 years ago, and it looks like 6 months old. It is bumpy. I have so much scar tissue above on the inside that I can feel like a big, I like to call it, sounds gross, but again, this is an unsexy favourites video, a slug of scar tissue directly above my scar, which then gives me this kind of like extra bump, and then my it's like a dent above there. It's not attractive for me. You know, you make your peace with it. It is what it is, but that's kind of what I'm working with. And it's mostly because of scar tissue. So the first time I had my ears pierced, I say the first time, I probably had them done about four times as a teenager and kept letting them heal up and then having them done again. I got a really bad keloid scar. I had them on both ears, actually. When I was 16, I had one removed, and it was so awful. The experience of having them removed, I understand that it's different now. You can have injections and stuff. They literally cut it out. Having something cut out of your ear is awful because you can hear everything. I remember when they were sewing up the back, it sounded like guitar strings tightening. It was awful. Everything about it. You can't distance yourself. It's right there. So I wouldn't necessarily do that again. And it never really affected me. The other one, I just left it. Didn't care. In fact, I think this side is the one that I had removed. So this side already had a keloid on it. I had my ears pierced again 2 years ago. I had the bottom two done, and then I had this one done last year. Weirdly, about a year after having the bottom two done, they started to keloid. I think it's the second piercing. And I'm actually getting one on the front of my ear now, which I don't love. I can make my peace with the fact that they're on the back. It is what it is. But I don't love the one on the front. I don't want to be able to like see the scar on the front of my ear. So I bought this. The Amazon reviews were really good. It's just like an oily solution. You're supposed to put it on your ear and massage it in. It says 2 or 3 times a day. I'm doing it once a day. I don't know if it's psychosomatic or not, but I think that it is doing something. It might even just be the pressure of the massage. You know, like those diet pills that say, take these pills with 2 litres of water before every meal. It's not the pill that's making you not hungry. It might even just be that it is the massage. Maybe put a little bit of oil on your ears. Maybe that'll do it. I don't know. All I can tell you is I think that this is shrinking. It feels smaller. I also have some discs. You can get rubber discs from Amazon. You put them on the front of your earring or on the back of your earring, depending on where the keloid scar is occurring. And it basically creates like pressure between, like it flattens it. I think it's supposed to block the blood flow. I think that's actually what happens. And that works really, really well as well. I kind of headed one off before it became anything, maybe last year. But this time it feels like quite a substantial scar. So I'm using this. I think it's working. I will reconvene in 6 months' time or so, but I just wanted to mention it in the meantime in case any of you would find that useful. Right, I've got a few things that were sent to me, just a big FYI. Before I get to that, I do have this as well, which I suppose would fall under non-sexy thing that I do use quite frequently. And again, I use this on my ears because of the whole situation of keloid scars. They grow over time. Like I'd had my ears pierced for like 20 years and they healed up. That's not normal. But when you are prone to keloid scarring, your scars they just keep growing forever and ever and ever. Eventually I could just have like an elephant man ear. It is what it is. But I have to try and like keep up with the hygiene and stuff. So I'll take out my earrings. I spray them with this wound spray, which is basically alcohol, and kind of clean the whole thing. Not sexy, but I do it all the time. This also really works for after shaving or after any kind of hair removal. If you want to, obviously, number one, clean skin. Never pluck, maybe your eyebrows, it would be fine, but especially like full on facial hair, never pluck with makeup on. Never. Don't do it. It's not worth it. You will definitely get a breakout. I'm not necessarily hugely breakout prone, but you will. You just will. It's just not clean. Wait till your skin is completely clean and do not put anything on afterwards, unless it's going to be something like this. Or I was sent this from Primark this year, end of last year, I can't remember. It's the Post Shave Serum. I would not have purchased this necessarily, especially because it's so fragranced. It's watermelon, smells exactly like the Watershine lipsticks of old from Maybelline, and it is like an oil. So everything about this feels wrong. Everything. I've been swatching things, deciding what to take with me. It's a full-on oil. But I put it on my skin after shaving or after any kind of hair removal, plucking, whatever. I put it kind of all around this area. I have never had a breakout from it. Again, smells really nice. I feel like heavily fragranced things, it doesn't mix with not breaking out, but that works amazingly well and it smells really nice. It kind of makes the whole thing feel a little bit less clinical, I suppose. When before I was shaving or plucking and then using like alcohol, or I was using another product that was like an antiseptic, the whole, like, it's not shameful, but it didn't help the feeling of like it being a little bit clinical or medical, I don't know, you know? Using something that smells really nice and like is in like a fun packaging and it's just, oh, this is cute, you can buy this from Primark. It makes you feel like this is totally normal. I don't know whether or not this was actually formulated for face. It doesn't say anything on the back. I don't know if this is like, you're actually supposed to use this elsewhere on your body, but it works for me. Another thing that I got from Primark is the Body 101 Anti-Chafe Body Balm. I had a tube of something that I bought from a pharmacy in America that worked really well, but it was always a bit awkward to apply. It was literally like a tube and it had a silicone material come out of it, and I would just put that on the tops of my thighs if I was wearing a dress or I was wearing shorts and it was hot and I was walking for a long time. This is way more convenient. It's basically like a twist up deodorant type situation. You just put it on. You can see that it's that silicone-y. I mean, do you know what would probably work? You know, like a cheap silicone primer. That would probably work exactly the same. But then this is not expensive. This is £3.50. And it's solid. This is going to last you forever. Have this in your bag all of the summer. It's amazing. Avoiding the chub rob. Glycolic acid exfoliating body stick. Moving on to another product that is in the form of a deodorant. So this has replaced for me, I used to put glycolic acid of whatever kind, you know, whatever brand. I didn't really have a huge preference between them, but whatever glycolic acid I had at the time, I would put it in a spray bottle and I would put it on my body. So I used to put it on my arms, my chest, my back. This all stems from being a teenager with acne on my body. I had really quite bad acne and I used to be on medication for it. So because of that, I've kind of grown up with this. It's funny because Ella's really, really great with skincare on her face. And I was always good at taking off my makeup and moisturising, but I wasn't like, it wasn't what it is today. But I've always been really hot on skincare for my body for the same reason, because I had really bad acne on my body. So this now has pretty much replaced that. I still need the spray for my back, unless Lee's going to do this for me, which he could. Although sometimes I'll still get him to put glycolic acid on a pad and put it all over my back. Very satisfying to see what comes off. It's gross, and it doesn't matter how clean you are, there will always be some kind of dead skin that manual exfoliation does not remove. This I use on my arms, I use it on the back of my legs, anywhere that you're kind of prone to maybe getting a bit of ingrown hair or like bumpiness on, especially here. I don't know what this is all about, but like the backs of my shoulders, that's the worst for me. And on my chest. Really, really handy, very easy to use. And again, I feel like it's going to last ages because it's solid. I almost forgot to mention this bad boy. This is from, the brand Aquis or Aquis? I don't know, same place that I buy my hair turbans from, which I looked the other day and they are so much more expensive than they used to be. I think they were like £20–25. I saw one for like £40. What? Like, they're really nice, but that's crazy. So this is a back scrubber, and they are not all created equal. I have had the ones that are, you know, like the beige ones that are, what's the material that I'm thinking of? I want to say hemp, but that's not right. You know what I'm talking about, like that kind of like the beige thing. Everyone's seen what I'm talking about. loofah, kind of. I've had those. They're just no good. They're not scrubby enough. I need like a nylon, really, really, really scrubby. It's this or nothing. I kind of like to scrub myself raw, if you will. I'm very pink when I get out of the shower. I like to do this at least 2 times a week. I ideally would do this every single time I got in the bath because I can never feel smooth and clean enough. Again, it all kind of stems from that feeling of when I was a teenager. But this, I have had this for too long. If I could just easily replace it and it wasn't expensive, I probably would have by now. It has been through the washing machine. Thank God it's dark grey is all I'm saying, because I think if it had been a paler colour, getting off any kind of fake tan over the years, and just generally they get kind of grimy. But I can't be without it. And whether I'm using it, like if you've never used one of these before, it's going to like change your life. It's going to change your life. So literally like this, or I will fold it up. If I'm shaving my legs, I always exfoliate first. Fold it up like this, and then I'm shaving. I'm scrubbing my legs, I'm scrubbing my arms, I'm doing whatever I'm doing. This is one of my favourite things in the entire world. It's something that if it disappeared, I would replace it immediately. And last but not least, I do want to preface this with, this is absolutely not something that you need, but it's something that I've been using recently. Not every single time. Like, I probably remember to use this twice a week, realistically. But I have been using this. I saw this on Instagram. A woman was talking about this as an alternative to Botox. Listen, nobody needs Botox. Nobody needs to fix anything. You do whatever you feel like you want to do. I don't want to have filler, Botox, etc. If you do want to have those things, you do you. If you think that anyone who feels that they want to kind of like keep up with these beauty standards is terrible, you can have those feelings, but you keep them to yourself because we let people do what they want to do. So this is surgical tape. In theory, you take a little bit off, which is really easy to do. You don't need scissors. That's the main thing. I can just kind of keep this in my bathroom. Tear a little bit off. This is the only place I use it, in the middle of my forehead. That is my only, it's like my pain point, if you will. That's the only place that I feel a little bit self-conscious about in terms of like, if I was to have Botox, it would just be there because I'm a scowler. And they say, they being social media experts, that if you have this on for at least 4 hours a day, it will make a difference. So I don't do that, but I like to think that I might, and it might. So just putting it out there, this is probably no way to live, truthfully. But they are my unsexy favourites. All of the ones that I can think of, anyway. There are probably more. There are definitely more. If you use any of these, please let me know. If you have your own equivalent, or you have one that you think would be like, ooh, I want to share this, please do. Let's share our own unsexy favourites in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I will have plenty of packing content coming your way. I've just had a lot of fun doing this in advance. Usually I leave it all to the last minute, and I've just kind of spent the entire day. I was supposed to be doing other things, and I didn't. So I spent the whole day kind of organising makeup and putting it into pouches, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I spend way more time planning and organising for a trip than I am actually on the trip, but I feel like it's all part of it. This is my favourite part. The weeks leading up to a holiday are almost better than the holiday. I think that probably depends on the person, but yeah. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!